So even if I'm not paying attention to the mini-map, I'm not wasting fertilizer. I mean, look, we've used 3% so far. And it is barely moving. So because... I don't know. When the field in front of us, we did put lime on it. Oh, sorry, we did. Yeah, we limed and fertilised it, but we've cut it now once. So that's probably why there's more nitrogen in the soil than needs to be. And there's no way to eliminate nitrogen that is in the soil. You just have to grow stuff. Which is why you do crop rotation. Now if we do go for that Isaria crop sensor that mounts to the front of the tractor, we're going to have a haul behind sprayer. I don't have a problem with that. We've done that in the past. On oak field. I kind of prefer this type of sprayer because it's easier to control where you're spraying. However, you know, because of all the advanced crop sensors and everything else, and the automatic metering of the spray, it doesn't matter so much if I get something wrong and overspray it, because it's not going to apply any more fertilizer for that section. Let's try and keep this where it needs to be. So yeah, the thing with base game, you know, a tow behind sprayer, it's a lot more difficult to control where the spray's going, so you can easily waste a bunch of fertilizer by driving over a bit that you've already done. Here I haven't even turned the sprayer off, we're just driving. We also don't have a very big boom on this one. This is the 18-meter boom. We could go a lot wider. That's what I say. In general, I'm not comfortable using the tow behind, but since it's not a waste of fertilizer using one or herbicide using one, I don't have a problem using it. And obviously, if I'm going to put an Isaria crop sensor on the front of the tractor, I lose 40% of my my fertilizer load. And so, you know, on Oakfield Farm, when we were doing some of the contracts, I was having to go back to the store and reload the sprayer. So I just said, oh, to heck with this, we'll use the tow behind because it's got double the capacity. And we generally got most of the contracts done using that, so much better, in my opinion. However, yeah, starting farm, really didn't have much choice but to go with the smallest unit with the smallest booms, and we'll work our way from there. And yeah, I'll grant you, using this on a small field is much easier. Now, we don't own any small fields, so I mean, probably that field there has a few trees along the edge. Our barley field at this end of it has a bunch of trees that just get in the way. So having this is a little bit easier to control. But when you're doing lots and lots, I kind of want the capacity. And then, as I was saying, you know, if I'm going to not have a crop spraying tractor and just do crop spraying in whatever tractor's available with the crop sensor, then at that point, yeah, this setup is less ideal. I wouldn't necessarily say it's less than ideal, I'd just say, yeah, because you're losing the capacity. But then again, all things considered, with precision farming running, it's not like we're burning through the fertilizer for this field. But yeah, our strategy, you know, even back on Oakfield Farm, our strategy was to have a crop care tractor, yeah, for want of a better term, with narrow tyres, and that's the tractor you always use when you're spreading fertilizer, spraying fertilizer, spraying herbicide, whatever. And it doubles up occasionally for doing things like hauling a windrower or a tedder. So you only need that one tractor with the additional cost of having crop sensors on it. So we've paid out for crop sensors on this one. We can never get that refunded. The only thing I think I've neglected on this tractor, at least initially, is I kind of like to have GPS. Because if I was using GPS now, it's not that I would use less fertilizer on this field, it's just that the number of times I have to drive up and down it, and the possibility of having a narrow lane of unfertilized ground that I still need to drive over. So I have to do an extra row, is lessened if I have GPS. But yeah, it's a step up on this, maybe to add the, I believe, oops, I'm an idiot, but that should turn itself off. Is it this? You can do spot spraying 40,000. I don't have the price for that, and I can raise it up to 28 meters. But you look at that, and we are adding 53,000. That's money I can't. It's money I can't justify. Do a couple of contracts, I could probably afford it, but I can't justify it at this stage. There's other equipment I need. But yeah, we are probably going to end up with increasing the size of this piece of equipment, and quite possibly adding the spot spray sensors to it eventually. Because that's a £53,000 adder to any sprayer we buy. Yeah, I mean, the thing is it depends. When you look at what we did on Oakfield Farm, a lot of the time I would leave my spray tractor off spraying fields with a worker. Obviously at the moment I don't have multiple tractors that I could be doing stuff with, so save the money on a worker for now. But I don't generally go for, oh, I need two tractors doing the same job. It's not really a thing for me. I need, yeah, 2, 3, 4 tractors doing sequential jobs. So I might have a big tractor that's ploughing, a big tractor that's seeding, and a big tractor that's doing something else. But they're not ploughing all the fields simultaneously. One tractor goes out and ploughs the field, and then I bring the second tractor in with the seeder while the first tractor goes off to another field, and they just follow each other around the course until all the jobs are done. But yeah, I'm not going to discount having multiple tractors. I'm just not generally going to be running with multiple tractors doing the same job. Carting is going to be interesting on this map, I think, because I have noticed issues with turn the sprayer off, with workers following routes. Done. Sometimes the button works and sometimes it doesn't. And even the variable width capability of this it's not something I need to use with precision farming. Because while it looks like it's spraying on the left-hand end, it's actually not, because we've already sprayed that bit. But base game, you would come in basically, and I can't remember what the buttons are. I don't even know if I've got the buttons defined. F1. Change work width. Would be to do something like that. And just spray where it needs to go. Now, obviously that's too narrow. It's not spraying there at all. Actually, that's looking, from the mini-map, that looks like it's finished. So they're probably good there. Field texture wise, not so much, and that's kind of like when you're harvesting corn, and from a long distance you can see a strip of corn, and when you get there, there's nothing actually there. So, how's the environmental score on we don't own that field? How about that field? So we've gone from whatever was 60 up to 73. Actually, I should probably put the brakes on. So we're up to 73. That nitrogen is at maximum. Soil sampling is at maximum. pH not registering, but that's at maximum. Weed control, we didn't do any. Tillage, we didn't do anything. So as soon as we mow this field, we should jump up to 84. And the only thing we haven't done is tillage and weed control on both of those fields. Now what I might do is, even after we buy cows, is get spot spraying capability on a, or after we get the cows. When we add spot spraying to our sprayer capabilities, is to run out into that field over there and spot spray it with herbicide. We will use zero herbicide, but because we have spot sprayed the field, we will max our environmental score on that field. Good. Probably not the best way to empty this, because obviously we now have zero weight on the front of the tractor and a lot of liquid fertilizer in the back. But it is what it is. Kind of getting used to the select. I sometimes forget, but in general, select what you need to be doing. Every so often I'll drop the loader arms off the front of the tractor when I'm trying to disconnect the trailer on the back. Okay, that field is now as good as we can do it. I think for winter, so after the last cut this year, I will reseed it with grass, just so that we get the full tillage bonus. Spot spray won't happen until we have that ability, so that won't happen until I can justify spending £39,000 on spot spray equipment or sensors. But for right now, our work here is done. How's our tractor looking? 58%. It's probably going to need some maintenance. I'm thinking we can probably wait till after harvest before we worry about that. The only contracts around, at least when we checked, were baling contracts, and we're not going to do any of those for a while. So I think right now we will head for home. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, and we have done all the work our farm needs for the day. So, just to check, we've done all the stuff in our fields. Let's go crops to grass, yes. They will be ready to harvest next month. That one needs rolled, that one doesn't. I could roll that this year. I don't know if it provides any bonus. But over winter we could get a roller and just roll everything. So first things first, we'll no-till plant this field, and then lease a roller, roll both fields so that they don't complain about they're not rolled. And then that field's almost ready to harvest. Kind of thinking 51 might be the next field we want to buy, just so that we can grow stuff in it. Prices jump back up to 10.7. That's 10.7. See, that field is a lower price. Could buy that one. We have to go out onto the road and round and stuff somewhere. We'll figure that out later. Last check on the shop. Blah blah blah, nothing. So we will sleep till July and see what comes up. But thinking right now we are probably kind of done for the day. It is 12:30. So there's another 600. Yep, looks like our barley is ready. We're going to need to lease a harvester. We've got the grain truck, so that's fine. We will be baling the straw from here. I'll take the tractor down to the farm. Or the Land Rover down to the farm. It's July, we're going to have to sell the tomatoes sometime this month. I don't have to sell them today, but I have to sell them before the end of the month. How many have we got as a matter of interest? It's 6 again. I think every month we're producing about 6. Okay, that field is ready to be cut. And the field over there should also be ready to cut. So of course once we cut this field we should get a boost in our environmental, or not necessarily a boost in our environmental score, but no less of a penalty to our environmental score. So they're going to take us a while. I might do those off camera because it's more baling and we've kind of done enough of that for now. Okay, what's going on in the store? There is the Fent Vario. Wow, what's that? Grape harvester. We're not doing grapes, but hey, helianthus header for a big harvester. Massey Ferguson power flow 30 foot. Nice. Don't need one of those. Well, should probably turn the engine off. Okay, so contracts was the other thing to check. There is baling, there is harvesting contracts, yay. So for example, oats, no. Wheat, no. Wheat, no. Canola, no. Barley. So I could consider doing something like this barley contract. After I've harvested mine, I can get this barley contract and you must deliver 48,900 litres. See if we actually generate 48,900 litres from this field as it is. Field 85 is over here somewhere. This one here. How do we check like that? It's got a plus 10% or plus 9% yield bonus from the soil. So there is a chance this will yield. What did we look at? Contract. This will yield 53,000 litres. I don't expect it to though. I think it's going to be bad. We haven't fertilised it. Well, have we fertilised it? What was it? 85. It's ready to harvest. Has rocks. Yep. No weeds. Oh, you can't. Yeah, you can't access fertilization state. So they do, when you're fertilizing a contract, it will turn blue for the 1 and 2 states of fertilizer that you add, but you can't see it on that map. And obviously you can't see anything because I don't own the land, I haven't scanned it. So who knows? But there's the potential that that field might yield sufficient for us, for the contract. If it does, then I won't be worried about doing any of the other harvesting contracts and getting some money out of those. If it doesn't yield enough, then any harvesting contract is going to be a risk. We're going to have an alternate solution. Reason for picking barley is because we have our barley field, so once I've harvested this and dropped all the barley in our silo, if that comes up deficient, I can pull some of mine and complete the contract, because there's no way to complete a barley contract with stuff you can buy from the store without adding a mod. Wheat I can do, and oats I can do, because you can just go off here and say no, I can go here and say I want to buy wheat, I want to buy oats, and yeah, you can't harvest pig food or road salt, so that's not a thing. But yeah, I could buy these and top off a contract that's deficient if I had to. But we'll play science next week on that barley contract and our barley field. As for us, I may harvest, or I may mow our 2 grass fields, and in the interim. Oh, that sounds a bit sick. Okay. And we can turn the engine off. So, there we go. Time to make a huge income for the farm. And potentially, what did I say? That field there bought us 20,000. Where are we? This field here is 2.46 hectares, bought us 20,000 income. That's twice the size, so that's 40. So total, we could make 60,000 income from both those fields. That's a good start. That starts getting us more interested in expanding the equipment on the farm. I didn't check. What's the price of that field? It's a little bit smaller. It's 113. And then the field at the top, probably our third purchase, 173. Oh, hello. Price has come down. Moved down to 5.8 again. So these have suddenly become cheaper. And because we own this field, we sell it, it makes us less. So I buy this, it costs me 173, I sell it, I'm going to be able to sell it for 140. So I'm always going to lose money if I flip a field. Anyway, I guess that's it for this week. We should be back next week with some more from Maypole Farm. But for now, everybody have a good week, and I'll see you next week.